Radhe Radhe, Dandavat Pranam, Om Jnana Timirandasya, Gyananjana Salakaya, Chakshur Unmilitam Chena, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. I decided to speak on Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi, which is one of the largest and most popular prayer to Srimati Radhika, which is sung in different sampradayas of sacred Vrindavan. The whole text hangs on the wall of Sevakunja in Vrindavan, and each verse is inscribed in one separate marble slab. This book is full of amorous verses, but we should always remind ourselves that it is not material love, but transcendental love. Hearing and chanting these transcendental topics swiftly liberates the reciter and hearer from the heart's disease of lust. Provided this hearing and chanting is done with faith that this all is a transcendental exchange between God and His eternal potency, Krishna and Radhika. By hearing this, the sadhaka will become free from lust. Vikriditam vracha vadupi ridam ja Vishnu, sharan vito nusriyanyet, atavarnayet yaha, bhaktim param bhagavatim, pratilabhya kamam, ridrokam asvapahinotyacherena dhira. Anyone who faithfully hears and chants the pastimes of Lord Vishnu, Krishna, with the women of Braj attains the highest devotion to God. He will swiftly be cured from the heart's disease of lust, and he will become steady. So we will start with the first verse of the Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi. All glories to the lotus feet of Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur, and we will start. Lindantam pula kot karena vikasanipa prasuna chabim broti kritya bhujatvayam hari harityuchayir vadantam muhu nrijantam drutam ashru nirjhara jayi sinchantam urvitalam kayantam nicha parshadai parivritam Sri Gaura Chandram Namaha. I offer my obeisances unto Lord Gaura Chandra, who is surrounded by all his associates, and whose body is studded with goose pimples of ecstasy that mock the beauty of blossoming Kadamba flowers. He raises his arms repeatedly and loudly crying Hari Hari as he dances and sings, showering the surface of the earth with cascades of tears. Commentary. Sripad Prabhupada Sananda Saraswati Thakur is the object of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's great mercy. So his mind and heart are always absorbed in the sweet pastimes, attributes, and sentiments of Srimati Radharani in Braja. So we can see that Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur's Ishtadev clearly from these prayers is Srimati Radhika. Now he begins his delicious book of eager prayer named Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi, out of compassion for the devotees who aspire for the confidential service of Srimati Radharani's lotus feet. So, even in this first paragraph in the commentary, Baba is saying that Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi aims at the most merciful gift of Mahaprabhu, which is the confidential service of Srimati Radhika's lotus feet. So many call this Radha Dasyam. So what means Radha Dasyam? It means that the sadhaka tries to identify as a maidservant of Srimati Radhika. This is the most merciful gift of Mahaprabhu. Anarpita charim chirad karunaya vartirna kalau samarpayitum unatochvalo rasam svabhakti shriyam hari purata sundara judikatamba santipitaha sadaridaya kandare spuratuva shachinandana. May the Supreme Lord, who is known as the son of Srimati Shachi Devi, be transcendentally situated in the innermost chambers of your heart. Resplendent with the radiance of molten gold, he has appeared in the age of Kali by his causeless mercy to bestow what no incarnation has ever offered before, the most sublime and the radiant mellow of devotional service, the mellow of conjugal love. So, this mellow of conjugal love was given before. It was given before by great poets like Vidyapati. It was described by Mirabai. It was described by Bilvamangal Thakur. It was Sakhi Bhav, in a relationship as a girlfriend of Radhika. But Mahaprabhu, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's most merciful gift was to grant us entrance into the personal and most intimate group of maidservants of Srimati Radharani, Svabhakti Shriyam. Shriyam here directs our mind to the lotus feet of Sri Radhika. So in this first verse, Srila Prabhupada Sananda Saraswati offers his humble obeisances to Sri Gora Sundara, without whose mercy we would never have understood what it really means to be in the group of confidential maidservants of Srimati Radhika. In this verse, in the first verse, he praises his worshipable deity, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Krishna accepted the mood and complexion of Radha and became Gora to fulfill three desires. First was to understand the greatness of Radhika's love. What makes it so special? Second, the wonderful qualities of that love, that she alone relishes in him. What is she feeling? In the how the qualities of Krishna, what does it make in her? And third, the happiness she feels when she realizes the sweetness of his love. So to understand the sublime love of Radhika, to understand which qualities she alone relishes, and how is the sweetness that which she feels. In Vrindavan Leela, Krishna was the witness of the sweetness of Sri Radha's love, of which he himself was the object. And in Gaura Leela, he accepted the mood and luster of Sri Radha to understand the gravity of her love. So in the opening verse of his book, Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi, Sripad Prabhupada Sananda Saraswati draws a beautiful picture of how the full transcendental truth of Braja, Sri Krishna, experienced the sweetness of Radhika's emotions. We can see in the Shiksastakam at the end how Sriman Mahaprabhu more and more became immersed in the love of Srimati Radhika, especially in the last verse when he says that you can do whatever you want to me, Krishna. You can treat me as you like. I will always love you. You can do and be happy to me and be whatever to me. I will always love you. So this is the highest extent of love, which is only to be found in Radha. And when Mahaprabhu went to Jagannath Puri in his last years in the Gambhira Mandir, he was completely immersed in these feelings, banging his head on the wall during the night in separation from his beloved Krishna, totally immersed in the mood of Radhika. In this first verse here, Sripad follows the custom in the Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition to praise Lord Gaura before commencing the description of Sri Sri Madhava's sweet pastimes. This is called Gaura Chandrika. In his book, Sri Chaitanya Chandramrita, verse 88, Sripad Prabhupada Saraswati writes, Yatta yatta kora parada vindeta bhaktim grita punya rasi, tata tatod sarpati ritya kasmat, rata padambocha sudambura sihi. When a very fortunate soul experiences devotion for Lord Gaura's lotus feet, the nectarian ocean from Radha's lotus feet suddenly floods his heart. Again, when a very fortunate soul experiences devotion for Lord Gaura's lotus feet, the nectar ocean from Radha's lotus feet suddenly floods his heart. Here we can see by this verse that without the mercy of Lord Gaurasundara, we can never understand Radha Dasyam. We can never understand the love Radhika feels. Sriman Mahaprabhu is so merciful that he lets us have part in this most sublime rasa. He is so merciful that he distributes this rasa to every fortunate jiva, and every fortunate jiva who receives this mercy by the Vaishnavas and Krishna can experience this wonderful nectar ocean. This is something extremely precious, something very, very sublime. It is like Lord Gaurasundara is a gateway through which the nectar ocean of Radhika's love is flowing down to our hearts. And we can see now that since the time of Mahaprabhu's appearance, the mercy of Mahaprabhu is still flowing through the parivars down to us here in Kali Yuga. This is a wonderful Kali Yuga, because in this Kali Yuga we can all have the chance to practice Radha Dasyam. We can all be allowed to enter the intimate group of Radhika's maidservant. And this happens by the mercy of a wonderful Gurudev who himself has got this entrance ticket from his Gurudev, who has got this ticket from his Gurudev, and so on and so forth. And we can trace the parivar always back to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Prabhupada Saraswati praises here this Lord Gaurasundara. Without him, the nectar ocean of Brajaras would never have been available. I continue the commentary. Shri Gaurasundara has brought an unprecedented torch of Brajarasa, whose bright effulgence shows the devotees the way to the sweet bhajan of Vrindavan, which is otherwise hard to see. We see here, what is this sweet bhajan, which is otherwise hard to see? This is a direct hint to the performance of Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti, the unprecedented torch of Brajaras. This is nothing else than Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti. Sriman Mahaprabhu himself said, Raga Bhakti Vrachasvayam Bhagavanipaya, Chaitanya Charitamrita 2:24-85. Through Raga Bhakti one will attain the Lord himself in Braja. Raganuga Marge, Tanre Bache Ye Jana, Se Jana Bhai Brache, Brachendra Nandan, Chaitanya Charitamrita 2:221. He who worships on the path of Raganuga Bhakti will attain Brachendra Nandan Sri Krishna in Braja. Sakala Jakate Mori Kari Vidhi Bhakti Vrajabhava Poiti Nai Shakti Aishvarya Kyanete Saba Jakat Mishrita Aishvarya Sitila Preme Nahi Mora Pirita. Chaitanya Charitamrita 1:3-15-16. Everyone in this world worships me through Vidhi Bhakti. Vidhi Bhakti has no power for attaining the feelings of Braja. The devotion of the world is mixed with knowledge of my divine prowess. I do not delight in love diluted with prowess. Here we can see this is the unprecedented torch of Brajaras. And how can we attain this Brajaras? Only by practicing Raganuga Bhakti. We start with Sadhana Bhakti. We practice this Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti by the mercy of our Gurudev. It is said that the cause of Raganuga Bhakti is only the mercy of Krishna and his devotees. And without the mercy of Mahaprabhu, we would never have been able to even see or feel the light of this wonderful path. I continue with the commentary. And along with that, the sweet transcendental Brajaras. Mahaprabhu introduced himself to the devotees of this world. Shri Rasu Gosha sings, Yadi Gora Nahoto Kimene Hoito, Kemono Daritam De, Radhara Mahima Brema Rasa Sima, Chakate Janatoke. If Gora had not come, how would the world have been? Who would have taught the world the greatness of Radha and the limit of Prema Rasa? Madhura Brinda Vipina Maturi, Pravesha Chaturi Sara. Varacha yuvati bhavera aroti shakati hoiti kara. Who would have shown the way to enter into the sweetness of Vrindavan and the anxious mood of the young girls of Braja? Nobody would have shown us the way to enter into the sweetness of Braja, would it not have been for Sriman Mahaprabhu. He entrusted all that is to be known about Raganuga Bhakti to Srila Rupa Goswami. And Srila Rupa Goswami wrote in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu that with the Sadhaka Deha, with our Sadhak Deha, we should follow the inhabitants of Vrindavan, and with our Siddha Deha, we should follow Radhika, Rupa Manjari, etc. So in Sadhak Deha, we should follow Rupa Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Narottam Das Thakur, all our beautiful role models. And with our spiritual body, we should follow Rupa Manjari, Radhi Manjari, and all the Manjaris of Vrindavan. This is how Raganuga Bhakti should be performed. And this is how we gain entrance into the sweetness of Vrindavan, and the anxious mood of the young girls of Braj is to be attained only by this. Commentary. The only way to extinguish the burning sensation of the threefold material misery caused by the elements, one's own body or mind, or by other creatures, with a nectarian stream of love for Shri Radha Govinda is the mercy of Sriman Mahaprabhu. Only his mercy, which is called also Madhurya Kadambini, a sweet cloud bank of nectarian rain, only by this downpour of mercy, our material misery can be extinguished. This is a most wonderful point, and Mahaprabhu never made any distinction. When he was on earth, it was very easy to attain that highest love. Now he is gone from our view, but still this mercy is there, it is available. And when we engage in sadhana bhakti under the guidance of a Raganuga Gurudev, who teaches us the way to love Krishna like the young girls of Vrindavan do, we also can attain this prema. Commentary. In this verse, Sripad Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur describes the sattvika ecstasies of Sri Gaura Sundara as he takes pleasure in performing kirtan. Srila Rupa Goswami defines these sattvika ecstasies as follows in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 2.3.1. Krishna sambandhibihi sakshat kinchit va vyavadanataha bhavaishchitam miha grantham sattvam idyucchate buddhai sattvad asmat samutpana ye bhavas tu sattvikaha. When the heart is touched by emotions directly in the form of the 5 basic relationships of servanthood, friendship, parenthood, etc., or indirectly in the form of the 7 secondary moods such as laughter, chivalry, etc., related to Krishna, the wise call it sattva, and the emotions coming from that are called sattvika bhavs. The Lord had accepted the mood and luster of Sri Radha and had come to attain shelter for his own Rati. Therefore the sattvika and other bhavs had become fully manifested in him. This is confirmed in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Tahe mukha rashasraya hoya chin mahashoya tate hoy sarva bhavodoy. The Lord had become the main shelter of his own rasa, and so all ecstasy arose in him. Sripad Prabhupada Saraswati sweetly depicts how Sri Gauranga's body displayed the unrivaled ecstasy derived from relishing the sweetness of Radha's rasa within himself by saying, Nindandam pulotkarena vikasan nipa prasuna chabim. His body was beautified by goose pimples that mocked freshly blossoming kadamba flowers. We cannot even imagine how these goose pimples look. Our goose pimples look like little goose pimples, like little moon craters, but these goose pimples are compared to freshly blossoming Kadamba flowers, huge. Our goose pimples are very, very small and 190% caused by material excitement. And Mahaprabhu's goose pimples are here compared to huge flowers, so it must have been a most wonderful sight. Mahaprabhu's body manifested Udipta Sattvika Bhavs. Srila Rupa Goswami says in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 3.2.3.79, Ekata Vyaktim Apana Panchasa Sarva Evava Aruta Paramod Karshan Udipta Iti Kirtitaha. When 5 or 6 Sattvika ecstasies simultaneously arise to the greatest extent, they are called Udipta. Again, Sripad says, Prodikrita Bhuja Dvayam Hari Harityuchair Vadantam Muhu. He lifts his arm and loudly chants, Hari, Hari. This is an Anubhav called Kroshana. Srila Rupa Goswami says in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Anubhavastu Chitashta Bhavanam Avabodhaka. Activities that awaken certain moods in the heart are called Anubhav. When Rati is relished within the heart, it will be externally manifest. The echo of Mahaprabhu's loud chanting of Harinam immersed all the moving and non-moving creatures in the taste of love for Krishna. Such was the power of Sriman Mahaprabhu when he appeared here on earth. Everyone who heard or saw him chanting, he could taste the love of Krishna. Moving and non-moving creatures, even animals, trees, everyone was immersed in love of Krishna. This is what he came to give to us. Mahaprabhu only came to give us prema, to give us the highest love of Krishna. And this highest love of Krishna is so sublime that it will pale all other achievements, all other 4 achievements in life, like karma, artha, moksha, and so on. This prema is the 5th biggest achievement, and it is the goal of life. This prema, this braja prema, is the highest goal a living entity can achieve. And Mahaprabhu himself, he was the best example in showing us how to attain this most wonderful goal. In his Shikshastakam, in the first verse, he told us how to be immersed in the taste of love for Krishna. He said, Chetadarpanam Archanam, we should always chant, and we should chant in a certain mood. In the beginning, it may be that we chant and we see ourselves as spiritual souls, but we should move from this consciousness of a generic jiva soul. We should try to develop, to establish a relationship with the Lord, and we should chant with a specific identification, with a specific love. We should try to imbibe in our heart. Not just in the beginning like, oh yeah, I'm a jiva, I chant now the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. This is wonderful, but we should chant the Mahamantra and we should identify as one of the 5, or in Braja 4 rasas. We should really take care that we not chant like a robot. We should develop feelings during our chanting, and we should see what is the highest goal. What is the Bhayochan? So Raghunath Das Goswami, he advised us to chant in the mood of a maidservant of Radhika. We should identify ourselves with a spiritual body. We should imagine ourselves as being a spiritual identity, not just a soul, but a very specific soul in a very specific relationship with Krishna, and then the holy name gets more tasteful. We should think about this verse in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, where Rupa Goswami is saying we should desire for a particular love, of the inhabitants of Braja. So we as Rupanugas, we follow Rupa Goswami with our external body, and with our internal body we follow Rupa Manjari. So we can really experience the taste in chanting when we don't sit down and think, oh yeah, now a little jiva is chanting the holy name, make me free from material misery. This is fine, and we all did this and still do it, but we should mix it up also more and more with trying to identify as a spiritual soul, a spiritual form, a specific spiritual form, with our specific love. How do we want to love Krishna? How do we want to have a relationship to the divine couple? In which form? In which rasa, in which love? This is very, very important to develop this nice taste in chanting the holy name. We should carefully hear the holy name, but we should have this attitude in our heart, this identification that I am in a very specific way try to love Krishna and Radha. Sometimes it is also nice to think that you're chanting the holy name, the Mahamantra, into Radhika's ears, as the maidservants do when she's, for example, when she fell unconscious. You can imagine yourself chanting into her ears, more and more feeling this love of the Kinkaris, this how they love Radhika, and this we can implement in our daily chanting in the morning, to think about that not we, Tarun Govindadas, etc., are chanting, but actually it is our spiritual form who is chanting, and we more and more identify us with that form. Then this taste which Mahaprabhu came to give, this Vraja Bhakti, will come into our chanting of the holy name of the Lord. There's no other way, there is no other way, and there is no other way. But if we don't come to the point of identification during chanting, and we just feel ourselves as a generic jiva, we will always be a generic jiva. We will not experience the flavors of love. It will be just a generic flavor, but every individual soul can have a very individual relationship with Radha and Krishna. And then we can go on, and we can go through Anartha Nivriti and come to steadiness. We can come to Nishtha without establishing a nice relationship, a specific relationship, a specific taste. We cannot come to Nishtha. We cannot come to Ruchi, and then what to speak of the other highly elevated stages like Ruchi, Ashakti, Bhav, Prema. We have to first establish what kind of love do I want to imbibe in my heart. And this is very important, and Jiva Goswami said this is the Buddha Shuddhi. This is the identification of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, that for the followers of Rupa Manjari, we want to be a maidservant of Radhika, and we have this Buddha Shuddhi, this self-identification. I am that. I want to be in the group of Radhika. I want to be in the Nikunjas in Vrindavan, and I want to be there where only pure sweetness reigns. This is what we want to attain, and this can be attained by starting with Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti, and with the most powerful way of chanting the holy name, with this specific identification. I continue now with the Tika. Srila Haridas Thakur revealed the secret of the loud chanting of Harinam. Tumi ei koreyacha ucha sankirtan sthavara jangamera sei hotoshravan. Sunite jangamera shangshara hoikshaya stavera stavare se saptaloge tate bratitvana hoi. Bratitvana noi se koreo kirtan toma kripaya e akati akatan. Chaitanya Charitamrita Andhya chapter 3. All the moving and non-moving creatures have heard your loud chanting. Hearing it, all the moving creatures were liberated from material existence. And after the non-moving creatures hear it, there is an echo. It is actually not an echo. It is the chanting of these non-moving creatures. Beautiful. All these indescribable things are possible only by your mercy. Wow, the echo which is coming back is actually from the trees and from the unmoving creatures. Wonderful. Mahaprabhu dances with restless feet and sprinkles the earth with his tears. The singer Rai Shekara describes the sweet dancing of Sri Gaura Sundara and his associates as follows. Madhura Madhura Gaura Kishore, Madhura Madhura Natha, Madhura Madhura Shapa Sahajara, Madhura Madhurata. How sweet is Gaura Kishore, the golden youthful Lord Chaitanya. How sweet is his dancing, how sweet are his associates. Madhura Madhura Amritanga Bajata, Madhura Madhura Tan, Madhura Rasa Matala Bakate Gaue, Madhura Gana. How sweetly the drums are playing, how sweet is their rhythm, how sweet the devotees are maddened by transcendental mellows, and how sweetly they sing. Madhura Hilana Madhura, Dolana Madhura, Madhura Gati, Madhura Madhura Vachana, Sundara Madhura Madhura Bhati. How sweetly he moves, how sweetly he swings, and how sweet are his steps. How sweet are his beautiful words, and how sweet is his radiance. Madhura Madhura Adharajina, Shashadhara Mathura Mathura Hasa, Mathura Arati Mathura Piriti, Mathura Mathura Bhasa. How sweet are his lips, and how sweet are his smiles, that defeat the sweetness of the moon. How sweet is his eagerness, how sweet is his love, and how sweet are his words. Madhura Yugala Nayana, Ratula, Mathura Ingitechai, Mathura Premera, Mathura Badare, Vanchita Shekhara Roy. How sweetly his reddish eyes are making sweet hints. Unfortunately, Rai Shekhara is deprived of this sweet love. So this poet paints a wonderful picture how most beautiful Mahaprabhu was dancing, and Rai Shekhara, he is very humble, and he says he is deprived of this sweet love. This is the humility the great saints feel. Tika. While Mahaprabhu dances, his eyes manifest the sattvika ecstasy of ashru, tears. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is described how Mahaprabhu manifested this ecstasy while dancing before the chariot of Lord Jagannath. Chalayantra dara yeno bohe ashu chala, appa ashapasha lokayoto, bijilo sakala. Tears were flowing from his eyes like fountains, sprinkling all the people that stood around. This sattvika transformation is so wonderful that one may ask, does this Ganga water, which normally flows from his Lord Vishnu, the self-same Mahaprabhu, lotus feet now flow from his eyes? Appani kore asvadana, shikaila bhaktikana, prema chintamanira prabhudani. The Lord not only taught the world about prema, he also gave a splendid example of how to relish its flavors. The Lord is the wealthy owner of the Chintamani gem of prema. So here we have this most wonderful picture in front of our eyes where Mahaprabhu is dancing in front of the huge Jagannath wagons, and there's this one wonderful story where Mahaprabhu is singing a mundane song about two lovers, and only one person could understand what was going on. Everyone was thinking, oh my God, what is he singing? But only one person was very much able to understand what was going on with Mahaprabhu. And this was Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami immediately felt, because he was so close in love to his beloved Gaura Sundara, that he could immediately understand what was Mahaprabhu singing. This seemingly mundane words. But actually Rupa Goswami knew that Mahaprabhu was totally into the bhav of Radhika, missing her Krishna, and this bhav he felt when he sang the words of that mundane song. So you see, it is the consciousness that transforms everything. So Mahaprabhu, in the bhav of Radhika, by singing this song, he was so much in ecstasy of missing Krishna and in separation from Krishna, that he could not control himself, and only Rupa Goswami was able to understand this mood and this bhav, this emotion. So therefore, Mahaprabhu very wisely entrusted Srila Rupa Goswami with giving him the orders of writing down the code book, so to say, of sadhana, bhava, and prema bhakti. So Rupa Goswami was ordered to write down how to attain prema, the abhideya acharya, the how to attain acharya. This was Rupa Goswami. Sambandha Gyan was the order for Sanatana Goswami, and Rupa Goswami was ordered just because he could understand Sri Chaitanya Manopishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Katamayam Dadadi Swabhadanikam. Rupa Goswami knew the Manopishtam of Srimati Radha, of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which is the mood of Srimati Radhika, which is to serve and to love the lotus feet of Swami, to love and serve Radhika. This was the Manopishtam of Mahaprabhu, this tasting of the love of Radhika. And he himself, Rupa Goswami, he was able to write down Abhideya Tattva in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, and later on in the following book, Ujjvala Linamani. And he expertly wrote how to attain Prema Bhakti in the mood of the gopis of Vrindavan. He perfectly wrote down what Mahaprabhu laid into his heart. And to attain Raja Bhakti, like I said in the beginning of the class, it is only possible by performing Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti. Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti is not for those who are at the highest stage of Bhakti. It's a different approach to it. It is not like you finish something and then you start with Raganuga Bhakti. So we all start with a mixture of Vaidhi Bhakti. We all start because the Shastras say we should start. But the moment when we hear about the love of Vrindavan, of the Brajabasis towards Krishna, as soon as Krishna is the object of our love, and we try to attain Prema Bhakti, we try to attain Braja Bhakti, it is never attainable by pure Vaidhi Bhakti. It will turn into pure Raganuga Bhakti. In the beginning, it is a mixture. Jiva Goswami is saying that in the beginning, until the taste comes, it will be a mixture of Vaidhi Bhakti and Raganuga Bhakti, because still we are doing Bhakti, not because of we love to do Bhakti, because the taste is not yet there. But Srila Jiva Goswami also says that even the slightest bit of taste, let us commence with Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti. Kinchit, he uses the word kinchit. Then when we hear about this beautiful love of the people of Braja, and we want to desire to develop a particular mood, particular bhav, like the bhav of Rupa Manjari and Radhi Manjari, we are followers of Rupa Raghunath, then Raganuga Bhakti starts. It starts not with our endeavor, it starts by the mercy of Guru and Krishna and the Vaishnavas. When we receive this mercy to understand the beauty of Braja Bhakti, we are on the path of Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti. We come to Raganuga Bhava Bhakti, and finally we can come to Raganuga Prema Bhakti. And slowly, Vaidhi Bhakti in our consciousness, this Vedic consciousness of by practicing by fear or by telling, because the Shastra tells us it will go away and taste will come. And some people say Ruchi means the stage of Ruchi, and then we can practice Raganuga Bhakti. That is right. Raganuga Bhakti in its pure form starts when we come out of Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti, when the mixture of Raga and Vaidhi is really more or less gone, then we can come to the stage of Raganuga Bhava Bhakti and then Raganuga Prema Bhakti. Only with this wonderful way of Bhakti can we attain what Mahaprabhu came to give us. This is a unique gift Mahaprabhu has given the world, that we can be able to understand that from being a Nitya Bada Jiva, we can turn into a beloved maidservant of Srimati Radharani. This is spectacular. This is wonderful, and we can have this mercy. Prabhupada, the Tika continues. The people of the world will be blessed with initiation into the mantra of prema by voluntarily selling themselves to the lotus feet of that sweetly, blissfully dancing and chanting Gaura Sundara. So we will be blessed when we get initiated into the mantra of prema. So when we hear the mantra from Shri Gurudev, and when we receive the Diksha mantras, we will attain prema. Tika continues. Even the stones melt when they remember how sweetly Lord Gaura dances and how he rolls on the ground like a golden mountain. Jaya Shri Jagat Ananda, Jaya Jaya Gaura Chanda, Shri Gaura Mandala Sukara, Vikasita Nipa, Brashuna Chapi Aparupa, Pulake Purnita Kalevare. All glories to Shri Gaura Chanta, who gives joy to the world, who is the moon of Gaura Mandala, and whose body is studded with goose pimples of ecstasy, which are as wonderful as blooming Kadamba flowers. Puna Puna Bahutuli, Uchai Svari Hariboli, Nache Gaura Natana Sutama, Nirjara Nayana Dhara, Sinchana Koriya Gaura, Api Shika Koila Dhara Dharama. How nicely Gaura Mahaprabhu dances, repeatedly lifting his arms and loudly chanting Hari Hari. A stream of tears flows from Gaura's eyes and sprinkles the surface of the earth. Sapar Shade Gaura Hari, Kirtane Darshane Kori, Punapuri Koriya Pranam, Shripada Prabodhananda Arambila Rasa Kranta, Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi Nama. Thus, Sripad Prabodhananda Saraswati begins his Rasika book named Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi by offering his repeated obeisances to Lord Gaurahari and his associates and witnessing his kirtan pastimes. Mangala Charana Shloka, Shravane Smarane Sukha, Bhakti Kori Parama Sampad, Guru Parapat Marenu, Bhushana Koroi Tanu, Chanda Kori Gaya Haripad. This verse serves as the auspicious invocation of this book. It is the highest wealth of all the devotees, and it makes them happy by remembering and hearing it, decorating his body with the dust of his Guru's lotus feet. Haripad sings these poetical songs. After the end of each verse, this Haripad Das, a very nice poet, he is requoting, or he is embellishing the original verse with his own words. And he says here, it is this book, this Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi, is the highest wealth of all the devotees, and it makes them happy by remembering it and hearing it. It is said that when we hear and when we remember such verses which are so much filled with bhav, especially from books like Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi, Vilapa Kusumanjali, we will get this bhav of the poets into our own heart, and it will purify our own heart. It will be like eating prasadam. The body will be purified. So by hearing and chanting these verses, we will also be purified. Our consciousness will be purified, and then this taste, this love can rise in our hearts. This is why it is so powerful to hear and then really also remember what you heard. It is said that just reading books is not really reading books. You have to digest it and you have to think about it You have to meditate about it. These great acharyas only wrote these books so that we, as sadhakas, can attain what they already have. And this everyone can experience. Everyone can try and read these verses and try to meditate on these verses, and everyone will see that something in the heart will change, something will open up, something will be attained by this. Haripal Das says in the next line, decorating his body with the dust of his guru's lotus feet. So this remembering and hearing these wonderful verses of Radha, Rasa, Sudhanidhi, for example, is only powerful as long as we are under the shelter of Sri Guru's lotus feet. Yasa prasado bhagavat prasado, yasa prasado nakati kutupi. Otherwise it will not be fruitful. The power of Guru's lotus feet is that these verses will change our heart. We will feel the half which is in these verses when we have the anugatya of our Gurudev, who has the same aspiration in the heart as we aspire for. This is called Satachiya. He has the same bhav. He loved also these verses. He heard them from his Gurudev. And then this beautiful power which is in these verses, in these shlokas, for example, here in Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi, it will come also into our hearts. It is like eating the remnants of Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur when we read his words. His words are like little pieces of purest Mahaprasadam which there is. And when we will continue with Shri Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi, we will feel the love of Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur which he has towards Srimati Radhika. And this was only possible, which we will hear in the next verse, because of the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Only by the mercy of Mahaprabhu can this secret be revealed and experienced. All the verses of Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi have only one aim. Sripad Sadhu Maharaj told me that Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi helps us becoming fixed on Sri Radhika's lotus feet. It is the book of Radha Nishta. You gain absolute Nishta in the service to Srimati Radhika's lotus feet. And Vilapa Kusumanjali from Raghunath Das Goswami, for example, is like a manual how to do Radha Dasyam. But first, before we can even begin to practice mentally Radha Dasyam, we have to purify our mind, and we have to come to the stage of so much Ishta Nishta in Radhika, so much faith into the service to the lotus feet of Radhika, and by reading each verse of Shri Shri Radha Rasa Sudhanidhi, we will attain this deep, deep Nishta, because we are not sitting down and speculating around, but we are eating the Mahaprasadam of Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur. Each verse which will come, this more than 200 verses about Radhika's name, about Radhika's ankle bells, her luster, her bodily effulgence, everything will leave in our hearts an impression. We watch a movie and it stays in our hearts. But when we listen to spiritual verses of Rasika Granthas, these impressions will never go away out of our heart. Except for one thing, if we do sadhuninda, if we do offenses to Vaishnavas, all these impressions, they can go. So therefore it is very important to always see in our eyes verse number 3 from Mahaprabhu, Tinatapi Sunichana, that we should always be humble and we should never do any ninda, any offense to any Vaishnava, and respect all Vaishnava. Only then can these beautiful shlokas and verses which we read together and we try to remember together, hearing together from these most wonderful acharyas like Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur, like Raghunath Das Goswami, like Rupa Goswami and Utkalika Valari, without faith and without humility, we cannot gain access to these granthas. And the only price to pay is the greed, no? To receive the mercy of Sri Gurudev, who allows us to hear and chant these wonderful words. Without the mercy of Sri Gurudev, we can never understand what is the real meaning of Radha, Rasa, Sudhanidhi. We think, oh yeah, it's a nice worldly poem about the love of Radha and Krishna, like in a movie. But this is actually like the translator Advaitaji wrote in the preface. It is not like that. It is transcendental. And if we have this Guru Nishta, if we have this faith, then we also have the faith that what we read can change our heart, because what we read is completely on the transcendental platform. And when Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur describes Srimati Radhika and the pastimes of Radha and Krishna, and we hear this in the shelter of Gurudev, and with the faith that this is a transcendental affair, it will completely change our hearts. Therefore, it is most wonderful to be able to listen to these extremely beautiful verses, which we will continue with verse 2 soon. So I will repeat the first verse, which is to the lotus feet of Gora, without whom the secret of Radha Dasyam would have never been made public or possible to understand. Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur ki jai ho. He says, I offer my obeisances unto Lord Gaura Chandra, who is surrounded by all his associates and whose body is studded with goose pimples of ecstasy which mock the beauty of blossoming Kadamba flowers. He raises his arms repeatedly, and he loudly cries Hari Hari as he dances and sings. He showers the surface of the earth with cascades of tears. Shriman Mahaprabhu ki jai. Vancha kalpatarupyascha kripasindubhya evacha padithanam pavanibhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.